Hi, this is Pamela Tumwebaze from the Empowered, and I am keeping you empowered. Today, I want to welcome you to the session that we're going to hold. We shall be listening to the wonderful young man called Oscar, and he will share with us the story of using, addiction, and recovery. And the whole point is for you to learn a lesson, for you to be empowered, and for you to actually be safe and to help others stay safe. May the Lord bless you, and may you benefit so much from this interaction as Janice runs it. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Empowered. Today we are going to be sharing a wonderful story with our friend Oscar, who is an alumni of Uganda Christian University. He is a lawyer, guys, and a pastor. He has a very, very long CV. I'm just profiling him a little bit. But I would like to send a special appreciation to our DOSA for having this program, because it is a very special platform for us to share our stories and engage with each other so that we can be able to learn from each other and encourage one another. I know out there we are having different challenges and we are going through different things, but we are here to do life together, okay? Amen. So I will give an opportunity to our friend Oscar. Hi, Oscar.
Hello viewers, how are you doing? Thanks a lot for having me here in the studio. Thanks Pamela. She's also an alumni. I remember her very well from UCU. As you might have heard, I have a story. I don't know if it's wonderful. It has so many ups and downs, but it's generally a struggle against alcohol and overcoming alcohol. That's basically my life story.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Oscar. So today we are going to listen into Oscar's story, and he has experienced things that many of us are facing as youth, as middle-aged people, as older people, and it has greatly affected us in our different capacities. And he is going to share with us how he has overcome and encourage us through his story. So today we are going to basically be talking about addiction, use, and recovery. Yes, basically we're going to be talking about use, addiction, and recovery. And Oscar is going to take us through and inspire us through his wonderful story. So please buckle up and let's listen.
Well, mine is a story of a struggle, alcoholism. I didn't start it when I wanted. I thought I was joking. 1995, I was around S3, St. Henry's College, Chitovu. Met some few guys there, and before I noticed it, we were out in the towns testing the liquor. And as you know, at that point, you can't take the expensive drinks. You start with the lowest local brew. So I began with the local brew. My first beer that I took was around 1.5 years after the local brew, 96, around there. So I joined the alcoholic drinking, not by default or not by, more of it was peer pressure, but I didn't know that. So I continued drinking until S5. S5 I went to Kabale. There's a school called Chigezi High School. When I reached there, I found, and the weather in Kabale, it just increased everything. I was at 18, but I was soon reaching 18. So I kept drinking and smoking. So in Kabale, it really became, it increased the exposure. There were many more drinks available. More friends came. We are starting to get more groups that we move along with. And I was getting more comfortable in my bad habits. And when something appears okay to you, you cannot know the dangers. So even that's the period when the ears started getting cotton wool. People start talking and you don't want to hear. So I kept drinking, and I remember very well in 98, I started coughing because I used to smoke all types of cigarettes. And we used to call it tundus. These last things, you go and you choose it and they give you the last one, you get from this one, you get from that. So I didn't know that I was affecting my lungs. Before I realized, I started coughing. They took me to all types of hospitals. They took me in Kabale clinics, they failed. They took me to dispensaries, they mixed all types of, the people of Kabale have some local herbs and what. I kept coughing. I didn't know what was the problem until I came to Kampala. They took me to Mulago and they found that I had TB. That was 1998. Now I think I'd reached 18 years. So smoking and drinking had its disadvantages that I found, but I couldn't find myself stopping it. Whenever I would try to stop, something would come up. I find myself drinking. I continued like this until S6. S6 was terrible, 1999. 99, I did not, actually I remember I studied, I think like only three lessons. That was in Chambogo College. And I was always in Banda. I had found other guys who had come up, and before we noticed, we were drinking. Drinking became the in thing, not studying, not going for these social gatherings where other sensible children are going. No, for me it was waking up, drink. Next proggy, where is the next proggy coming from? That was my life, 99. And I remember that period, my muzee was observing me and he told me that, let me wait and see what this guy is going to get. But by the grace of God, though I didn't know God that time, I managed to pass somehow. And then we went to A6 VAC and time came for university. And Mzee came and told me that, Oscar, I'm only taking you to UCU. And choose either law or education. And I believe it's only UCU that will tame you. And he knew that I could not allow education. That's how I began LLB. So I came here in 2000, September 2000, to begin my law course. I'll never forget, in Kauga, there's a friend of mine I found, he's still my friend. He's called Obedo Deogracious. So I met him at the town there and he told me that, you guy, I want to buy you some lunch. There was a restaurant called Kanyerizi. He said, I want to buy you lunch. You look like you're not feeling okay, you're looking malnourished. Let me buy you some lunch and I get to know where you've come from, because university, everyone has come from different areas here and there. So I told him that, you know what, you are called Obedo, okay. Before buying me anything, you have to buy for me waraji. And we had some bars called A-Light there at Kawaga. I said, I'm not eating anything until you buy me waraji. Standard. So I went there, and the first thing when I did, before entering the main campus, was to take some waraji at Kawaga, some bar. And those days it was cheap, 500 shillings, they give you a whole beer bottle like this. So he bought it there and battered it. And of course, naturally, I could not eat the lunch he had promised because I was already drunk. But that ushered me into UCU. So when I came to UCU, I won't mention many names, but we couldn't lack company for drinking, and it was not really, we were not serious. We were always thinking about alcohol. We were in the bars. There were so many places. There was a place called Buguju. It had malwa. We used to go there and drink malwa. I think that woman used to also mix in other things, because she used to, after 30 minutes of drinking, it's like you have taken alcohol for 1 year. So we had that problem with UCU, with the areas. We had another place called Chisumari where we used to go on Fridays. We used to drink, actually in UCU every day. Every day I was drunk. I don't remember any day in any semester when I was sober. It was only by the grace of God that I managed. And what started as a joke had now come full blown, to an extent that I couldn't do without alcohol. I couldn't think without alcohol. When I get challenges of coursework and all those things, I would first want to drink before tackling something. So I started depending on alcohol to reason. I started depending on alcohol to be happy. I started depending on alcohol to think well. So imagine when you're depending on alcohol to think about your life and how you should drive your life, and say, before doing this decision, let me consult alcohol. How do you consult it? By going to the bar and drinking. And when you're drunk, then you say, okay, let me do this, let me do that. So it had become everything in my life. That was in the year 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. I kept drinking, I won't deceive you. It was not a merry-go in UCU. All those years I was here, we were drinking daily, but there were many negative things that I faced. I visited many police cells. I was once in Kauga prison, actually, in 2001. Yeah, you see, for me, I used to commute from outside. Yeah, I used to commute. I was a non-resident. Yeah, and by then when we came, you see, I believe even now they are so strict about some things there. Drinking alcohol was not allowed. I believe it's still the same position. And I used to drink from outside. But I was very lucky that even the times when I would get drunk when I'm inside, I was not caught explicitly. So sometimes when you get drunk, you still can carry it over inside. Yeah, but I was very lucky in, I don't know, maybe it was a guardian angel. But we were normally drinking from the suburbs, Kauga, Bugujo, Nabuti. We had a place called Chisumali where we used to go for discos here. There's another place we used to call it ShopRite. People used to go and shop all type of things there. There's another place which they used to call Gaunye. Gaunye, you just take 300 shillings and you drink like, I don't know. So it was really a trap. And now when you have found many types of people from different regions of the country, some from the west, some from the east, some from the north, instead of thinking of your future, you think about alcohol. And we actually, why I thank UCU actually, is there are some voices I got in UCU that made me start thinking, despite my alcoholism, that made me start thinking that there has to be life outside there. There was a lady called, she's still there, she's called Nancy. Yeah, Nancy, I remember Nancy fought with me for quite some time, especially towards my third year and fourth year. She could come and tell me that, Oscar, you are now becoming a gentleman. You know, please do this, do that. And while I could be stubborn, at least her words could go ringing. They could go ringing. So in fact, I credit her up to today for God putting the seeds that started the change. So I credit her. So I still think, I honestly still think that the university culture at UCU helped lay the foundations of how I managed to overcome alcohol. In as much as I drank a lot from UCU, I won't deny it. I still feel, had I been in another university, there are some things I don't know, I wouldn't have encountered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually a bit intrigued. I just want to know how exactly did you manage to balance all this with your academics? Because I know law is not a very simple course. So I'm just very, very intrigued.
Yeah, that's a question many guys tell me and ask me, but to tell you the truth, my love for alcohol made me see ahead and say that to do anything that can soften my drinking. And I also realized that in order to drink well without worries, I have to at least read something. So in order to soften my drinking, I used to read. I could read like before drinking.
Wow.
And I could read like at least 1 hour or 2 hours. I make sure I read something and then I drink at least in peace.
Okay.
Yes, I wouldn't just read, just go to the bar flat. No. I would make sure that I read. I drink when my mind is a bit.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
grasp what you can grasp, but because you want to drink well and at peace.
Because I was wondering, 4 years and you're saying every day you were drunk.
Yeah, every day we were drunk, and Of course, we missed a lot of lectures, but at those few things that you could get, you would make sure you grasp them and then drink when you have something in the head.
Okay. Did you ever fall sick or get any complications because of this excessive alcoholism?
Yes, as I told you guys, my first encounter with sickness was, I think, in '98 when I got TB for the first time because of the cigarettes and all that stuff. So after that, I think God was holding me. I just drank non-stop without any health complications. The only complications I had were social, family disruptions, criminal with the law. Because I remember at one point I could pass, policemen were looking for me. You go to Kauga, their policemen are looking for you. They saw some tall guy, they came, they disorganized the bar, they went without paying, they broke some bottles. One of those guys was tall, he had a lot of hair. I used to have an afro. Yeah, now I have a Kawala attire, age and things like that. But by those days I had an afro and I didn't want any razor. I was like Samson, no razor touching it. So I was easily identifiable. So you find that you are facing the law, you are at odds with the law, you are at odds with the society, you are at odds with... So I'm like, if all these things are forcing, what about the books? That's why I could try and make sure that let me get what I can get academically before drinking, so that I'm not being hit in all corners. Unfortunately, there are some guys who I used to drink with and then they would just drink for. That's where the problem came. You see, reading is like a bicycle. Once you have learned a bicycle, it's hard to forget.
Yeah.
So that's what I could do. You read something, even if you are drunk, when you read it again, at least you can have some distant recollection of. So, but for health-wise, I continued very well until I left UCU.
Okay.
Actually, after leaving UCU, I went to LDC. I kept drinking, I won't deceive you. And LDC even was worse because the pressure there is too much. Pressure, the guys have come from Makerere, lecturers are scaring you. Then now me in my pride, I could say, no. What? But then actually, now pride had come. See, when we finished UCU, and we have been awarded degrees in law, now pride came in. And we mixed alcoholism with pride. That's the worst thing. Because now I knew I'm a lawyer. I thought it was all by my power. I thought it was all by my might. My father told me, Oscar, I want you to go for a master's. My father, who had lectured me, who had educated me and was lecturing at MOOCs, Secretary of Studies and the entrepreneurship, I had the audacity to tell him that you cannot do anything. You are just a secretary. That's my father. So that pride had come in. So with LDC, we continued the drinking habits at LDC, the smoking habits at LDC. We were smoking some substances that were not even legal. But still, my health was not so bad, actually. My health wasn't so bad, and the repercussions, I started feeling them after LDC. Because after LDC, my father says, I am now through with you. You are leaving my house. I have done what I can do for you. Now you're a man, you're a lawyer. So go and start your family. That was my first reality with reality.
Speaking of your parents, I would just like to backtrack a bit. How did your parents find out that you were so hooked, you were so deep into alcoholism, and how did they react? How did they support you?
To tell you the truth, my parents, especially my father is a psychologist. By 95 he knew. I remember there was a graduation party there where we used to stay in Kololo, and he deliberate, I don't know if I deliberate, he put a crate of beer there. And he left it there. So me, the night I came, and I snatched them and tried to start them so that I can drink them later. However, he fell into those traps. So he came and said, I know Oscar, you're the one who has taken these things and all these things, and they'll bring me. So we had to give him back his beer. But he had already known that I want what? beer. You see, as I told you, I didn't start with beer. That would have been the first opportunity to start with beer, but I started with the local warage. Yeah. So when he brought, my father knew by then. My mother, self-denial, the love of a mother. She denied until 98 when the TB came. Yeah. And there was no running away from TB. So my mother was born again. So for her, she went into prayer mode. She said that these things are for praying. She said Oscar will stop drinking, and I know he'll stop drinking. And she would tell me these things, and I would laugh at her. So from 99, 2000, my mother was encouraging me to read the Bible, go to church, and each time she would tell me, go to the church, I would say, give me the transport. And she would give me the transport, and I go to the next bar. Yeah. But they tried in their capacities. Yeah, my mother tried, she prayed, and they did what they could do. But sometimes parents have a place where, they reach a place where they can't do anything further.
Much, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know, given your drinking history, what are some of the regrets that you have?
My major regret, which I always ask God to give me the grace, is time lost. The devil takes your time and useless things. Yeah, because you start everything sensible very late. I married at 40. People start building when they are finishing, when the others are getting jobs. For you, in that time, you're struggling with alcohol. From job to job. As I was telling you, after LDC, my father just said like this, okay, now I have finished paying for you. And he gave me that look, and I knew it's time to bounce. Yeah. And where could I go? I had nowhere to go. So he managed to get for me a job in a law firm. I think I don't know if I should mention this law firm. So a very reputable law firm, actually. I went there in 2005. As soon as I had finished LDC, they gave me the job. They said, you're going to be the legal assistant. We shall be paying you 150,000 per month. 2005, 150,000 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they gave me my first salary. I waited for the second salary. And I came back the following day. And I blasted all my colleagues. All of them, even those who were helping me type, I blasted them. But what do you know? Don't you know me? What? I blasted them and abused them. When I say blasting, even vulgarities. These things that we see in American slangs, some words I don't know. I can't even speak some of these words there. I abused them. I offer something trivial. So they complained to the managing partner. Managing partner said, okay, if that's what he has done, he wrote a letter, summary dismissing. So that's what alcohol was leading into. They summary dismissed me after getting three months salary. So it cut my legal journey. So I was forced to come back home with my pride, back to Musei and sit in his house. Yeah. And he would look at me like a wasted. I could see he used to treat the house boys and the maids and all those with more value. It would hurt me, but there's nothing I could do. Yeah. I used to eat food last. When a guy put food on the table, the guy would look at me. I had first wait. And when other people have finished, then I eat. And even eating, he still looks at you. But so what did I used to do? Instead of saying, how can I become better? I became bitter. I increased it. I became a villager. Went to Malwa, Walaji, resumed the things. Now with guys who are in P1 and P2, those guys became my homies. And somehow, somewhere, the devil concocts you. And you feel that those ones are better than your parents. So I was stuck for another year like that, up to like 2007, 2008. And then Musei came back. That's why I'm saying the fathers have really done what they can do. He came back and hooked me another job, lecturing now. I went to Multitech Business School, Sapol Kagwa. So he gave me a job to lecture there. He has friends because he has been an academic. So they gave me to lecture contract, business law, employment law. Now those guys have a system, I don't know if they still have it. You lecture the whole semester, then they pay you at the end. So you have to keep your upkeep here and there. So Mama could give me transport, go, I come, go, I come. So I lectured very well. So at the end of the semester, those 4 months, they paid me money. Oh my God. They looked for me to come back. I was nowhere to be seen. I drank from Chireka. I drank from Nakawa. I drank from Tinda. Actually, in Chireka, there's a place where there's a big building now, opposite Shell Namgongo. So I used to stay now with my brother. I had left home. I was staying with older brother before he got married. So I went to that bar with that salary from lecturing, like the boss I thought I was. Spread it all, drank. I didn't know that thieves were seeing me. So when I was going back, the guy of the bar said, Oscar, can you please keep this bag here? Your notes are here. Your things are here. I'm like, me. I am the baddest. Nothing can touch me. So at 2 in the night, 3 in the night. So I walk on Namgongo Road alone. So between where I was staying with my brother and the bar where I was in the middle, I fell in an ambush. So the thugs came, they grabbed me, they hit me seriously. My face was disorganized, they broke my teeth. As I speak now, I have dentals. Yeah, that was 2008 February. I can't even forget that day. They broke me, they disorganized me, and then they wanted to finish me actually. They were on the process of strangling me. But by God's grace, a car came, hit them with the lights. They thought they had been seen. They jumped off me and ran. I ran also with my blood. Hit, my brother opened for me. Blood everywhere, things were like this. In the morning, Mama came, sister came, crying, what's happening? I was a mess. They took me to a dental clinic. And the dentist told me, you know what, Oscar? Either you choose to look like a rabbit, or we remove these things and give you replacements. So these are replacements. The others, I don't move with them. So I said, okay, let me choose the replacements. So he took me to the room, the theater, and then he put the dentists, they remove your teeth. Yeah. So when he put those tools to remove the teeth, the pain was too much. The pain was too much. So I told the doctor, I have my painkiller. He said, no, we have already given you auntie something. I've forgotten their name. Auntie said, well, what? I said, I have my painkiller. So I went to Chireka there. There was some kaba there. I bought my packet of vodkas. There are around 16 of them. I squeezed all of them. Then I came back to the theater. I said, operate. So that's what alcohol was doing to us. So you're living like an animal. You're no longer reasoning. There's no rationale in you. And for me, I was seeing everything as normal. Everything was normal. I continued drinking that state, and friends used to meet me. At those who are with at LDC, those who are with at UCU. They used to meet me in one day here. They said, Oscar, what is happening? We saw Oscar there like a mad guy. You have taken 1 week, you're not bathing. You're not washing your what? Taxis are avoiding you. So some friends of mine, and in good faith, those who I studied with, some are magistrates, others are state attorneys, others are registrars. So they said, why don't we get a court order and get this guy and put him inside, either Butabika or another rehabilitation, not the police cell. So they talked to my sister and my mom said, no, Oscar's problem is spiritual. That's when I started realizing that in as much as peer pressure plays a very big part in drinking, even our own interests play a big part in drinking. The devil also has a say in who is going to drink also. So it's a culmination of very many factors. That's why you see there are some people who can go to rehabilitation, is okay, and when he comes out after 1 week, he's back. Yeah. Then there are those who go and come back, and they're okay. So it depends on what your root cause is. So to me, peer pressure was something that the devil used. Definitely had to use it to hook you. But he had his own intentions. It was more spiritual. I couldn't stop without intervention from God. So 2011, 12, 13 were the years I realized I'm going to die actually. Because that's when I started feeling those health things that you talked about. That's when I started feeling that the liver is starting to give way. The lungs are starting to give way. Starting to see black. In daytime and you're seeing black. Means you reach a point and you can't see what's ahead of you. So I used to go and sit at the field of Makerere and see what's happening. I was just 33. I'm like, Oscar Owakubariho, you're going before even 35. And I honestly reached a point when I want to stop. But I could not stop. I said no. In fact, I could give myself, resolutions. I said, today, Oscar, you're not going to drink today. And in the morning, I do like that. Then at around 4:30, 5:30, I just feel there's too much saliva here. The thirst. I find myself back in one gear. Yeah. There's a opposite Equity Bank. I find myself there, back there. Then I also realized later on that there were also some elements there that wanted you trapped. So alcoholism is not only about peer pressure, it plays a big role, don't get me wrong. Bad friends, our own inbuilt natural wickedness, plus also spiritually, the devil can come in. Yeah. So health-wise, I deteriorated from 2013, 2014, 2015. I went to all the hospitals you can think about. The liver was failing. I went to Naguru Hospital. They told Mama, please take him. Mulago, they put me in the rest, please. There was a case clinic. You have heard of case clinic? Yeah. Very nice. There's a guy called Dr. Nyang. I don't know if he's still there. He just told Mama that, this son of yours, I let him go another place. Let him not give us problems. Because they had tried to do what they could, and they had failed. Guatiro in Boyogerere, they had failed. The pain was too much. And now that's the real time I knew that Oscar, my time on earth, has come to an end. That was 2015 by now. And I started recalling everything that I've done and what people have told me. What would I have done better? I started thinking for the first time. You see, alcohol puts you in a position where you make so many bad mistakes, and then it leaves you to die. So I was filled with regrets at that period. So I thought, until I started remembering, and what was hitting me was what Mama used to tell me. Why don't you give your life to Jesus? Why don't you give your life to Jesus? There's one time she brought a Bible and I threw it away. And I told her, why is that Jesus you're talking about? I said, this Jesus here. You see that? So I looked in the sky, I said, Father in heaven, if you are there, because I was an unbeliever, don't forget that. I said, if you are there, forgive me. Forgive me, and I'm accepting Jesus as my Lord and Savior. I know I'm going to die. But at least let me not go to hell. Let me go to heaven. And that's what I said. Because I was not expecting to recover. The body was totally finished. I have those x-rays. Up to now, I have those medical forms. The liver, one liver totally shrinked, like the lungs totally finished. Excessive drinking. Now, from 95, now we are in 2015. These are 20 years. Someone is. So, funny enough, after surrendering to Christ, this is the journey you see me now. Yeah. Is where it started. Because I felt something different come. I felt some warmth coming to me. And that's what I always tell people when I'm testifying. I have never felt warmth. I felt some warmth which is still on me up to today, which I got to know is the Holy Spirit. Mama called me. Mama told me that, Oscar, can you put on Impact FM? I put on Impact FM. The guy on the radio was saying, Gwe mutamivu gwe. Sitani yabadde agenda kutwala. ne Yesu asazewo okutaasa. So I looked like this, and then I looked like this. Then the guy in the radio said, Ngamba guanyenyo mutwe. I almost I said, I just surrendered. I said, now these are the things above me. You know, some things are above us.
Yeah.
So I realized that this struggle of alcohol all along has been both physical and spiritual, things that are seen and things that are not what? So that began my journey with spirituality. Yes, so I listened to what they told me to do. They told me go and put on Impact FM, follow what those guys are saying. So many things they told me to do. I had to leave my place where I was staying. I had to come back home. And even when I came back home in that state, it reminded me of the story of Joseph. Joseph, the father of Jesus, sleep brother Joseph, when they told him that you take Jesus back, because the people who wanted to kill him are now dead. So even me, I went back home, following Jesus' instructions. And even all the hostilities that I used to get from home was no longer there. It was no longer there. Mzee was very welcoming. In fact, Mzee, when he saw me, he had kicked me out. So when he saw me, I was like, no, let him stay there. Give me a very good place, give him food, give everything that he wants. The church where I am up to now, they are all welcoming. So I realized that it's because I have accepted to follow what Jesus is saying. So let me just follow and I see where the things are going to end up to. So there are many things that happened that I can't even speak now, but chains were broken. Chains were broken, and it was, by the way, let me tell you something. Leaving alcohol is not simple. Like cigarettes, it's not simple. Starting is very simple. Even with the presence of Christ, it was another war. Because 2015, I accepted Jesus. So between 2015 and 2018 was a tug of war. 1 month, I'm very sober. Very sober. The next month, something has happened. Now these guys who were seeing me in the village drunkards, they are not happy seeing me taking him. They are not happy seeing this and this. They are seeing where I'm going. They are not happy. They are not happy to see progress. Because our parents want you to teach you so that you can be something in the society. But not everyone will be happy. So people who drink should be knowing that. There are some people who want them to stay in that drunken state. When you come out in soberness, some people want to be happy. Those very people could come and give me, say, Oscar, give us money. I could give them money in my good faith, in an innocence. They take it to their shrines. And you get what they call point of contact. Now, point of contact means that where they have taken it, those things are going to come back. So I was sober 1 month. I make a mistake with someone. Before I realized the thirst that I thought I'd gone has come back. But it was a different type of drinking. The other time I was drinking, wanting. Drinking in ignorance. Drinking thinking I'm the in thing. Now I'm drinking when I don't want. Those are two different types of drinking. The one of 2015, 2018 was focused living, as in I'm drinking not comfortable. A pig can be comfortable in mud, in style. But if you take a goat where the pig stays, it won't be what?
It won't be comfortable.
Yeah, it will be in the mud, but it won't be comfortable. So that's how I was now drinking. I was no longer comfortable in the alcohol. In fact, I would sit in the bar. 2015 and 16, and guys like, Oscar, you're not talking to us. But I'm thinking, I'm like, what am I doing here? Now I'm thinking, what will mommy think? What will daddy think? Things that were impossible those days. So I was thinking as I'm drinking, I'm like, but now, Oscar, even this money, where are you going to get the next money? But because I have fallen in that trap, I just have to drink. So 1 month drinking, around another month, 1 month sober, then another month, you're drinking, but trying to recover. Then next time you go back, 3 months. The first time I went 3 months without drinking. Even now, pastor was saying, hey, Oscar, is this you? Even me, myself, I went to the mirror and I said, I had to feel myself it was me. Because even my thought was not possible. 3 months. But something could happen. I find myself what? Until I told Mama, I said, no. She gave me a verse and said that some things don't go away without praying and fasting. So I had to also fast. So it was a battle. It was a battle, a spiritual battle on my side of the story. Other people might be having other battles. But if the devil has a say in why you are drinking, it's only through Jesus that you can kick him out. Yeah. So I had to pray and fast. I fasted like around a week, 3 days dry, then like 4 days no more. And then I took around 8 good months when I'm sober. So in those 8 months, that's when I realized that I'm normal. Because I'd last thought I was normal in S2 there 14 years. So now it's around 2016 that I'm realizing that I'm normal, that I'm not mad, that I'm like you. That's when I realized that this body feels like this body feels like this. At lunchtime, you have to start eating food. Because I had no time. I had no time frame. We had no time frame. When you're eating food, is when the people brought it, when these guys have come with meat on the bar. Yeah. Yes, and that is your lunch. You don't have that time. That now this is lunch. That was out of the question. So I started realizing those things. 2017, I started realizing that I'm also alone. Those are things when you're drinking that you can never what? Never really. Yes. So all those feelings started coming back, but still had to do it God's way. I still had to do it God's way. And by the time we reached 2018, August, I was seeing that I'm moving in the right direction. I was part of the church. The 2018, I only drank twice, and was a space of only 4 days each. So I was feeling the devil was being defeated. And I will never forget on August 17th, 2018, it was a Friday. It was a Friday. So some guy came and bought some beers there. He put them in front of me. I don't know what I was thinking, but I tasted the beer. Then when it reached halfway, I remember telling him that, you know what? You're never going to see me drinking again. Wow. And all the guys in the bar had, and some of them laughed. Someone said that, Oscar Boban, you're deceiving. So from that day, they have waited for me to go back.
August 17.
2018. From that day, I was set free. My story, I couldn't do it without Christ. Yeah. In as much as all the other peer pressures played a big part, and my stupidity was also there, deliverance on my side came from Christ.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I am personally very, very touched. It reminds me of a chorus of a song I really like. It says, in the presence of the Lord, there is fullness of joy, and there is power and deliverance.
Wow.
Friends and family, I really, really hope this story speaks to you on so many different levels. So friends, this is Oscar now, and we just want to know, what is he doing? Oscar, what are you doing with your life right now? What is your lifestyle like?
Well, first and foremost, I'm living a grateful life, because I know that I'm lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
Now I appreciate the fact that I'm lucky to be alive, and Jesus has given me the vision. And right now I have a law firm which I manage, Oscar Associate Advocates. We do a lot of pro bono, by the way, because when the things are passed through, someone can't come for me to help him with the legal matter, especially when I can manage and I refuse. I just find it impossible. Yeah. So we do a lot of pro bono. I do also with the Uganda Law Society. They give me some files. I also work for them. Of course, also we have those clients who give us money. And I also lecture. By the grace of God, UCU, I applied to lecture here, and they gave me. I lecture once in a while. I have an organization called Jesus Spiritual Corner Limited, where we counsel those guys who are struggling with alcohol, those who have just finished alcohol, those who are getting out. Those who are smoking marijuana and all those, we counsel them, we take them to church, we visit them, we show them that Jesus loves them. Yeah, and every Sunday in my church in Bulgaria, I take around like 3 or 4. As we keep getting those ones go, others come.
Yeah.
Yeah, we counsel people, even like you see here, their students, they send us and we counsel them. Now, what I can advise the viewers and all who are hearing is with alcohol, don't start it. Because once you start it, it will be a battle. It may not be a battle like me, which was spiritual, but you still get a battle to stop it. It may take you in rehabilitation. It may take you to a police cell. It may take you to prison. Sometimes you may not be lucky like me, because me, when I went to Kauga prison, something happened to my case. I think that was God fighting it. They dismissed it. Other people, they can convict you, meaning that you can't even further your what?
Yes,
your career. You can't further your career. You see that? So why do you risk getting those temptations, those difficulties in life? And as I told you, one of my regrets was wasted life, wasted time. Because from 15 up to 35, and when you go to Luzira, the times I go to Luzira and other prisons, either as a lawyer or as a pastor, those are the guys there. Or either on this charge or on that offense, those are the ages there. Yeah. The ages you are supposed to be strong. You see, if you go like to professional sports, that's the age of strength. 15 to 35. You are in inside custody because of alcohol and drugs and all that. So my advice to those guys out there, don't dare. But if you find yourself drinking and smoking and with the urge, come out. Come out. It's better to be open than suffer in silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, come out, and you'll be surprised when you come out what will happen. You'll be very surprised. The right people will come there for you at the right time, and you won't be the first and you won't be the last, but somehow, somewhere, God will find a way for you out. And again, another thing I realized, the devil uses alcohol to target people with bright futures. I rarely see guys with alcohol who don't have a purpose. They have a purpose. That's why the devil has come for them. So, parents, when you see your children drinking alcohol, don't be hard on them. Find out what this is. Find out where are your parents drinking. Where are you drinking? Because I realized, as for me, my grandfather used to drink. My parents used to drink. My uncles, some are still drinking. Some of my cousins have died of alcohol-related things. So that shows you that it's not only you, but it may be a family what? A family problem. Yes, so you have to find out and discover before rushing to the individual. What is the root cause? When you identify the root cause, that's when it's easier to uproot it. Yeah. The devil came to steal, kill, and destroy. And another major weapon he uses to finish people is alcohol. So if you don't die because of the liver, like me, I was going to die because of the liver and the lungs. Actually, I died if it was not for the intervention. There are other people who die because of accidents. You're drinking and driving. You're on a border, and the border is telling you, stay steady, but because you think you're a star, you start swinging like this. We lost a friend. I don't know, I don't want to mention his name. In one day, he was on a border, very drunk, and they were going at a high speed, and the Subaru was coming. So around Mulago there, he makes the border lose his control, and the Subaru hit them. So he didn't die immediately. They took him to Mulago, but his legs were totally decimated. So they had to cut off their legs and sew them for him to survive. So when he woke up the following day, or whenever the alcohol was over, he realized he didn't have what? And that shock killed him. This guy was just 28, 29. So that's what alcohol does. Others have died of so many things. So premature death is another reason we should avoid alcohol. Social, it disrupts the family. Your father has paid for you, you're just acting like a nut. You can't get married You can't have chance to have children. You can't build yourself. You are useless. Alcohol there's nothing good actually. Yeah. Though the Bible, people will say that a little wine, you're opening the door. You're opening the door. I know people who have drunk sensibly, but why do you risk it?
Yeah.
Why do you risk it? Because if that one drinks sensibly, what guarantee do you have that you will be? This is your life. Because when they are burying someone in the coffin, they don't bury another person. They bury you. So to be on the safe side, I think alcohol should be avoided. And the good thing, like with UCU is different from other universities. They have so many organizations that care. There's that wellness center, there's Madame Pam there, there's Nurse there, even the lecturers, they have their people there, Madame Rebecca. They have so many, they care. They care, and that care also extends to the outside, because I see when they're policemen, and the policemen also come and counsel, but not every university is like that.
Yeah.
So you might say that I'm in UCU, I will drink, I will have left UCU. You may not get that care when you're outside there, that you get when you're here. So you take advantage of that and leave UCU when you don't need to go to the hospital. Leave UCU when you are free. Leave UCU when you can cancel. Don't leave UCU when you're done who needs counseling. Yeah, so alcohol generally, it's not good.
Thank you very much, Oscar, for
Thank
sharing
you too.
this
Thank
story.
you too. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Friends and family, I really, really hope that you have picked a lesson or two from this story. It is very sad in our community to see very bright young minds go to waste because of alcoholism, because of drug addictions, or any other things that young people struggle with. So this is just an encouragement. Like he has said, if you are not actively involved in alcoholism, then please don't do it. Better safe than sorry. But if you are, it is okay. Just come out and let us help you. Let us find help for you. Let's pray for you. Let's encourage you. Let's walk this journey of healing together.
True.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for engaging with us. And we wish you a very wonderful rest of your week. God loves you and we love you too. Please take care of yourselves.
Wasn't that empowering? Aren't you more empowered? Aren't you empowered to make better choices? Will you take that first drink? Will you catch that first cigarette? Will you proceed with drinking and smoking if you've been into it? Remember, UCU has the Ruth Nkoyoyo Wellness Center. We do a lot of these things where we help people overcome such addictions. Remember that there's so many offices that are open for you to come and just share your story, and someone will be happy to actually receive you and help you. So my prayer today is that you will be empowered to seek help. You will be empowered to say no. Thank you so much. Stay empowered. May God bless you.